Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another movie review. I just recently went to see Avengers Age of Ultron, and I honestly can say this is the most spectacular Avengers film that has been created to date. And maybe this is just an opinion, but I absolutely adored it. And James Spader, who plays the role of Raymond Reddington on The Blacklist, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, just because of how exceptionally written it is and how intelligent and vibrant and crackling with twists and turns and multitudinous intrigue and just thrills and chills and the unexpected. Oh, a lot of things that I can deduce and predict, but a lot of people don't. But I always figure things out long before others do, just because of my deductive reasoning. But he played Ultron unbelievably well. I could hear the inflection in his voice, and I knew that it was James Spader. I thought before in the commercials I couldn't decipher his voice, but then I recognized it. I thought, that's James Spader, and he really plays the villain quite extremely well, and he was absolutely magnificent. He was just your typical sardonic, pandering, demeaning, sadistic creature. And the ability that he had, it really reminded me of a lot of Asimov's stories and the cautionary tales that you read about in a lot of sci-fi. And it was very reminiscent of I, Robot, I thought, even though I really didn't. I loathed that movie. It's my least favorite, but still, this is a better telling of the possibilities and probabilities of sentient AI. And that's enough to give me pause. So that's spoiler one, and excuse me for that, but it was something that Iron Man had created, and of course he feels the personal responsibility of that, and he has to deal with the repercussions. Well, not alone. He doesn't deal with the repercussions alone, and the team has its issues, bickering and blaming each other. And then the finally taking responsibility. But it's it's a sensational movie, and it's exciting. It is an adrenaline rush. It is non-stop action. Just one scene after another of skirmishing and fighting. Well, there is good reason for all the Avengers to be fighting in and of itself, and what S.H.I.E.L.D. is, and instead of what S.H.I.E.L.D. was in the past, and always a renewal of the old and becoming something entirely different. It's all about evolution, and being a Darwinist, I absolutely love this movie. It was tremendous. And I thought that the topic of evolution in and of itself is very fascinating. And I agree with all the thoughts made. It just, I believe that good will win out, because I am an optimist rather than a pessimist or a fatalist. And I believe that human beings at their core are good. And they do talk a lot about that, and free will, and the ability of co-creation. They talk a lot about that, and I thought all this sounds extremely familiar because I've been listening to Greg Braden, and he speaks of this topic as well, quite at extent. And It's very compelling, and it's also very stirring and inspirational, and I absolutely agree with his thesis. Um, I really didn't know what else to say about this movie other than it's perfect in every way, shape, and form. I love Maximus and Scarlet Witch, and I won't say what happens with them or how we're introduced to them, but I always thought that they were more X-Men characters, that they were part of the X-Men universe, and at least I know Scarlet Witch is, but I don't read the comics, so I'm not really sure what arc they are included in, so please don't hate me. It's as far as comic book movies are concerned, this is the best one I've seen. It is the pinnacle, the acme, the bismuth, the ultimate, the penultimate. Well, it's not the penultimate film. There will be more. The next one is Captain America Civil War. And the ending, stick around for the ending. It's very telling. And of course, Dark World, I think, kind of led into this. It incorporated a lot of different themes into it, at least I think. And putting it together, all the characters, and making them mesh and have chemistry with one another and play off one another, I think is very, very, very difficult to do. And it just was a pristine mix that was a treat for the eyes and the ears. And I got to see my favorite characters banter with one another and talk shop, which is my favorite thing. I love scientists. I don't know why. I've always enjoyed the mad scientists because they're my favorite characters. They're the most misunderstood and the ones I can relate to. I'm not a mad scientist myself. I am a scientist. In the aspect that I need empirical proof, except when it comes to my faith, and I don't think the two disagree at all. Honestly, I see no problem with the two, but I'm not going to state that because I'm afraid I'll get a lot of flames, and I really don't want that. But if you want to see a really extraordinary film, then go and see this, because it is by far the most impressive of all the Avengers films that are available. And it's very entertaining, and not only is it entertaining, but it will keep you on the edge of your seat, and it's very intelligently written. And there's a running gag that is in the movie that I really enjoyed, and quite a few running gags actually. And I get to admire Tony Stark, which I can't help it. I'm an Iron Man fan. What can I say? In reality, I really don't go for the bad boys. I would much rather have a Captain America type, but they're very hard to find, unfortunately. But I haven't given up hope on that. So if you're out there, Captain America, your Agent Carter is waiting. Anyway, I give it 2 thumbs, way up, no doubt. No kvetching, no complaining, no quibbles, squabbles, or anything of the sort. 5 stars, hands down. Absolutely no contesting that. There's no bartering or refutal of that, because my decision is final, and that is my verdict on this film. It is absolutely remarkable and completely incredible, and well worth the time if you go and see it in the cinema. It's an experience in and of itself, and you don't have to see it in 3D. Doesn't matter. By itself, its entertainment value far exceeds what you would pay for 3D. But that's about all I have to say about Avengers: Age of Ultron. And it was tremendously done. It's absolutely stupendous, and it deserves nothing more than my highest accolade. Till next time. Bye.